Hi and welcome back to bonybfx. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make the face prosthetics for Mystique from the X-Men. So originally this is going to be one big tutorial with a short film to follow in 2 weeks. But due to time constraints and scheduling conflicts, there's no film. I know, right? But I have a new plan. So I'll be doing this tutorial in 2 parts. In part 1, this video, I'll be showing you how to make the prosthetic pieces using a plaster mold and liquid latex. Next week will be part 2 where I'll show you how to apply the prosthetics and do the makeup. But next month I have some big stuff planned, so don't worry, you will not be disappointed. Alright, enough of that crap. Things you'll need: paper in a transparent file folder, plasticine, plaster, baking pan, Q-tips, liquid latex, baby powder on a brush, and a syringe. The first thing you want to do is draw out the design of Mystique's face on the paper. Then put the paper in between the transparent file folder. Next, take your plasticine and shape out all the pieces. Try to make sure that the edges of the plasticine is smooth to the surface of the plastic and there's not any gaps or holes underneath. Next, put the whole thing inside of the baking tray. Use some plasticine to create a barrier all the way around the entire piece of transparent file folder with your plasticine mold. Make sure to get all the edges. The purpose of this is so the plaster doesn't go underneath the plastic. Take your plaster and follow the instructions on the box to mix one batch. Be sure to pour the plaster over top of all the mold first to make sure it's fully submersed. Next, take it out of the pan. Do not do what I just did there, because it ended up cracking my entire mold in half. Although you can hardly see it here, it was completely cracked in 2 pieces. Then take some kind of an instrument to remove the plasticine from the mold, being careful not to scratch the edges of the mold. Next, take your latex and a Q-tip and try to push the latex into the deepest corners of your mold. You have to work quick because I noticed that with the Q-tips, before I could even finish half of this one part of the mold, it was already starting to dry and the Q-tips was sticking to the latex and peeling it up off of the mold. You want to try and keep it as flat as possible on the surface. If you have it bunched up too much, it won't stick to your face properly when you're putting it on later. Then let it dry completely. Go back over a second time. I ended up doing about 4 coats like this with the Q-tip, just to make sure that it was a nice and thick coat. Now, my mold was very deep, so what I actually did is use a syringe to insert latex into the rest of the mold. Now don't do this from the beginning though, because you'll guarantee to have air bubbles in it and it will not look the same. Once you're done that, take your baby powder and your brush and dust the entire surface with a thick coat of powder to make sure that nothing sticks when you're removing it from the mold. When you're done, you should have a piece that looks something like this. Then, continue to remove all of the rest of the pieces. And then you're done, and you should have something that looks like this, and ready to be attached to the face.